Hey you guys, Laura here, and today I'm going to be taking you through a hip opening stretching series. If you're new to my page, my name is Laura. I'm a certified Pilates instructor and personal trainer, and every week I bring you different exercise tips, exercise breakdowns revolving around weight training and Pilates. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in learning about and seeing more of, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can see those videos that I put out on a weekly basis. Now, to the exercises, stretches that we're going to be going over today. They are a hip opening series that I actually posted on my Instagram page about a week ago when I was talking about a Pilates Reformer series that I do to help me open up my hips after my runs. So I had a lot of questions about how can I replicate some of these stretches that you were showing if I don't have Pilates equipment or if I just want to do them on my own. So I'm bringing you this video to show you a mat variation of the front splits, the back splits, and the side splits. So all you'll need is a mat. And if you don't have a mat, that's okay. I would recommend doing this on a carpeted area or a soft area, and you also won't need any props at all. So if you're ready for it, I'm going to show you these stretches to help you open up your thighs, your hip flexors, your inner thighs, all that jazz. So I'm going to be turning profile to the camera, and you can do these exercises along with me or just watch. Either way, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about these stretches, if they helped you, or if you're already incorporating something like that, I'd love to hear about that too. I'm going to take one of my legs and step it forward as if I'm kind of in a 90-90 lunge position. So my belly, I'm going to be doing abdominal bracing, which means that I think about my belly fibers kind of trying to interlace together. And I always refer to this as like if you're zipping up a zipper in a tight jacket, that's that sensation that you want to have here without changing the orientation of your pelvis. Now, for our foot on bar stretch or our front split stretch, I'm going to have you take your hands, one right next to each of your foot. Now, take your front leg and straighten it as if you're going to sit backwards towards your back leg. Your hands stay down, my foot's trying to reach away so that I still get a stretch through the top of my foot, the top of my ankle, and maybe in through my shins. If you aren't a runner, then I don't really care if the foot comes up, but if you are a runner, I do want you to stretch all of the tendons that do run along the top of the feet and through the front of the shin here. Especially if you have the tendency to get shin splints, this is going to be a really great counter stretch for you for that. Then when we come out of this hamstring stretch, I want you to bend your knee forward. We're going to come up with our hands, and I want you to think about tucking that bottom under to look forward and in front of you. So I'm stretching my left thigh, my back leg, thinking about contracting my booty to tuck that tailbone under. So I think about it going whoop, just like the direction of my hands. And I'm thinking long chest, long back. I'm not arching my back here. That doesn't really actually stretch my hip flexor from the front of my hip. All it does is just tug on it from my upper back where it originates. After about a couple seconds here, we take our hands back to the floor. Remember, runners, keep your foot connected to the floor as you try to take your hip bones directly backwards. Now, if you have a tight hamstring, the tendency is to want to twist your hips here. So really think toes line up with the front of my ankle here. And I'm trying to push my hip bone almost like towards the outside of my mat here. I'm going to point here to the outside, what that means to me. And after a couple seconds, we're going to come forward once again. Find that hip flexor stretch. Now, if you want to get more out of your hip flexor stretch here, raise the hand for the leg that's behind you. My left leg is back, so my left arm goes up. And that sometimes intensifies the stretch just enough for people, depending on how their hip flexor is. Sometimes it moves that stretch up into the side belly. That's totally okay too. If you want even more, we're going to side bend over without leaning our hips in any direction. I keep my hip headlights facing forward as my arm arches over like a rainbow. And that will give you more hip flexor stretch, oblique stretch, lat stretch as we side bend. Take it erect and then you can go back into that hamstring hip flexor. I would do about 5 to 8 on each side. Now I'm going to not show you the second side, you can do that on your own, but I'm going to show you how you can get into that inner thigh stretch, that side split stretch. So what I want is for one of those legs to open up to the side as the other leg stays anchored underneath you in a bent position. My hands are going to come onto the mat. And once again, for my runners, I want you to have your whole footprint. And it's actually not going to be just runners. This is going to be an everyone thing. I want everyone to keep their whole footprint connected and feel that stretch through the outside of their foot, the outside of their leg, and through the side of the shin. Now, flat back here. So we're not rounded like an angry cat, and we're not arched. We kind of try to find a flat table. We can have a tea party on our back. And I want you to bring your hip bones backwards in that flat back position, and then take your weight forward. And I'll go ahead and turn around for you so you can see what that looks like from the side view as well. I'm going to lean it backwards. My elbows can bend, that's okay. But once again, I try to keep my hip bones facing forward towards the floor. And then I'm going to take it front ways again. One more time with my head towards the camera. My foot stays connected to the floor. My shoulders try to stay square in line with my hip bones. And then I come up. So that one's more of like a forward back position. And I'm going to show you from the sideways again. Now, hopefully you can see my back here. I'm not rounded like an angry cat, and I'm also not arched. I try to find a flat tea party table position. As I go backwards, I try to keep that same flat tea party position, and then I bring myself back forward. So the tendency for a lot of people is that they round so that they can go further back, and you'll actually get more stretch through the inner thigh and through your lower back too, if you keep that flat back position. And notice how I can't go backwards as far, and that's because it's actually doing more for me by limiting that range of motion. So once again, this one I would do for about maybe 5 to 8. So we touched on stretching through the hamstring, stretching through the front of the thigh, stretching through the inner thigh as well, and all 3 of those are going to be really great hip opening stretches that you can do after your run, after a long run. If you're feeling sore from cycling, it doesn't just have to be specific to running. So try it out, let me know how it goes. If you were doing it along with me and you already felt the benefits, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And remember, I only showed you on one side, so make sure you're even and go ahead and do the other side again. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, remember you can hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can keep seeing the different exercise tips, video clips. Remember, I do also sometimes post short mini workout clips as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in to help you prevent injuries, to help you keep doing what you love to do longer, running, cycling, tennis, sports, whatever it is, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that we can keep learning, growing, and getting stronger together. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.